Good evening and welcome back to the final match of the night here at MLE, brought to you by APM Music. We got Hive, we got Jets, and we got an exciting match. Not the best teams we've seen tonight, not the best record-wise. They're very close though. Series-wise, 1-4 for the Hive, 0-5 for the Jets desk. It's gonna be a tight one. And these guys are battling to get back up that ladder here on our leaderboards.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a gritty game, I would say. You've got the Hives, you've got the Hive, you've got Jets, both kind of at the bottom of the race here for. Well, excuse me, actually, the Hive doing really well here in standard in threes. I'm sorry, I was looking at doubles. It's so easy to confuse.
We are in doubles. We are
in doubles. Okay,
yes.
I'm very confused. Then
it's late.
We're in doubles, but it's just psych. Hive and Jets here. It's a late night match. Come on, and it's gonna be. I think it's going to be maybe a high-scoring battle here. Going for doubles, going to be a lot of space, and it's probably going to come down to who can be maybe the flashiest player out there on the field for this one.
Yeah, so luckily CL is my home. It's where I call it home. I know every one of these players in the lobby. The Hive, we scrim a good bit. Clay, a former teammate of mine, an apt I run into in scrims, an absolute ton. He's a grinder. So we are going to have ourselves a good match. I believe it was the Hive at 67% for the pick'ems, and they're going to start getting that pick'em right early in this match. 7 seconds. Maple off the corner here. Clay can't quite get the touch, and Apt a little bit too far out. Connects with the ball, but connects with it back into his own net, and the Hive again going to take a 1-0 lead here early.
Yeah, and being a Jets player, you know, I've played a bit with these guys. What I think is interesting is Apt being the coach for the Jets is stepping in here. You kind of wonder, was there maybe a last minute, someone couldn't make it, needed to do a last minute substitute for this game? So you don't know how much Apt Fox and Clay have been playing together with each other. But now Clay HD trying to make a move, Pauly keeping this ball in, and Apt Fox now kicking this one out back down to the Hive's corner of the field. Giving a lot more space, especially the last one that we did was threes, so you're seeing a lot more booming of the ball. A little bit of ping pong here at the beginning of this one, but you see each team feeling each other up and trying to see how many touches can I get, and Apt there just manages to get a free one off of the bad touch there from the Hive.
Yeah, and that's 2 own goals, 1 for each team so far in this game. I still believe Apt was the one who hit that ball earlier in his net, and he gets one back. Maple can't quite make the connection there. And again, we're going to have a tie game here at 1-1. This ball's going to have a good opportunity, but Apt there on the back line doesn't hit this one into his own net. That shot's going to go high. And I don't know if you're paying attention to the pregame chat, but we got a little nugget here out of the Hives that Pauly gave us, that he said he was going to be Pauly and it was going to be his teammate Pauly NG. We were going to have 2 Paulys. I guess something came up. I'm happy they didn't. So again, we have Pauly, we have Maple, and a little nugget here for you, Desk, on the Jets side is Maple's going to have another pot shot here, another wide open net after a miss on the sidewall. But what I was going to say is, if I know one thing about Apt and Clay here, is that these are absolute vibes guys. These guys have some of the best attitudes I've ever played with, so them being down a goal or 2, it's never going to get to them. They're always up, they're always giddy, they're always having a good time. So no matter how many goals down the Jets can go in this, they're never going to be out of it just based off of attitude.
Yeah, I think an attitude's going to play a big part in this one, right? You have both teams coming off of games last week. The Hive 4-1 on their series against the Express. That was a big win for them. And then the Jets with the 3-2 loss against the Aviators. So you have 2 slightly different. They won. The 3-2 win. So you have both teams that win last week, and they have something to prove here within the conference. They still want to keep their play alive for playoffs, and Maple Syrup there ripping one. Can't quite put it away, but Pauly comes in behind him and finishes. And the Hive starting off real strong with 3-1 lead here with about half the game left to go.
Yeah, it's a tough read there for Clay. It comes off the post and goes diagonally out. It doesn't come straight. It doesn't go back into the net. He's got to make a dive. He's got full speed there going from the sidewall and just can't quite gather himself. His Apt, a good chip to the sidewall. He's up early. He can't quite get around the ball to connect with it properly. But nonetheless, the opportunity's there for the Jets. He gets a good chip across. Apt opting to play safe here. Maple with the ball. Great 50-50 out of the Jets here. We're going back the other way. And so far, the Hive really just not scared to kind of let the Jets bring them the ball and play a little bit of a breakout offense here, where they're just going to say, hey, bring us the ball. We'll get a chip around one of you. You know what I mean? I'm going to make a good soft touch to the sidewall, let Paulie come in here and get the ball gobbled up and going the other way. As the Jets opting more to just play boom ball down the field.
Yeah, definitely you can see that in the number of shots that the Hive have put on goal versus the Jets right now. 7 shots to 1 with the Hive here. Now Apt with an opportunity and puts this one away. Just catches basically Paulie in their own end, makes the move there past Maple Syrup, and just puts that ball away just to bring it close now. Still plenty of time left in this one. It could go either way. The Jets seem to kind of be settling in a bit more as this game goes on.
Yeah, and the Hive here with, I guess it's actually tied. They're going to have the higher salary player with Paulie being the highest in the lobby, but Maple sitting at 13.5, and then Clay's at a 14 and Apt at a 13. So salary's actually dead locked, a little bit skewed on either end. So like you said earlier in this match, I do expect this to be kind of nitty-gritty and close. There's no max salaries in the lobby for this league, but again, this you know what I mean, the Jets kind of working with something different there on that last goal. As Maple's going to take one to the sidewall, almost gets a great double touch, doesn't have enough boost to get back. And Paulie's going to get up quick, not a lot to work with here. Great read by Apt. Maple just there at the midfield, hovering, ready to get that ball going the other way. Great touch by Clay. It's going to be on net. Can Paulie get back to it? A great dunk at it, Clay, but it's not enough to get the ball back in the net.
Just beautiful pressure there from the Jets, just trying to get the opportunities where they can, but not committing too hard. Now, pass to Clay. Back up to Apt, who decides to turn out of the zone. Now Clay trying to get something going in the corner, but Maple clears this one back towards the center of the field. A miss there by Paulie, but Apt also misses this. Gets a demo on Paulie, and Maple Syrup trying to control this one, just chew some clock off, and now the ball is just kind of sitting in the middle of the field. No one knows what to do. The ball's sitting. Now a demo by Paulie on Apt. A bit of revenge there as Maple Syrup takes this ball into the corner, trickling down. Clay keeping it out on defense. This ball is in the Jets' side. You need to keep this one up if you want an opportunity as the Jets, but Paulie puts this in the dirt, and the Hive come out and win a pretty close game 1, 3-2. The Hive started out strong and definitely dominated on the shot count there, Flumsky, but the Jets kind of have the momentum there at the end of the game.
Yeah, and I think the misplay towards the end of that game there is Apt gets the flick, he gets demoed for his efforts, so you know he's going to be behind you, but it's already over one, so the ball's moving down to the corner to Maple, and Clay turns off the ball there, so a little bit of a miscue on the play there. I think they have a better opportunity to try and get this ball on net, and if you all were paying attention, you saw it in the background, one of the goals that the Hive got in that game was a miss off the wall by Clay. So if he gets a touch there to side or you know what I mean, or anywhere, any sort of car on the ball, he's gonna get that ball moving the other way. It's not gonna go towards his net, and then all of a sudden we have a 2-2 game. So I think you nailed this. I think the pick'em should have been closer to 50-50, but I think we're in for one here. We're in for a nitty-gritty battle. You said it earlier. I think these teams are gonna duke it out. Like we said, the salary of these teams, dead even, a little bit skewed in different directions, but at the end of the day, the average is there. So whether one player is going to make a mistouch here or there, you know what I mean? I think the Jets are going to be able to take this game too. If they just get a little bit of these miscues under their belt and back on. Apt has the ability here to catch the ball and make a play. We saw him do it earlier, so I think we need to see a little bit more out of that, or out of him with that.
And a beautiful save there by Clay HD. A couple of, I don't want to say easy goals by the Hive early on, but what you saw maybe a little bit of nerves. When you take a look at these two teams as a whole on paper, not a whole lot that's different. You take a look at the goals per game, 2.1 for the Jets and 2.8 for the Hive. Shots per game, 7.4 for the Jets, 8.5 for the Hive. And even the shots against, just one more shot per game for the Jets per game, but a difference of 4 games, the Hive winning, both at the bottom of their divisions. And if you're looking at this game the way that it is right now, game 2, close game 1, beautiful save there by Clay HD. It's really about who's at the top of the bottom right now, which it sounds as like a bit of an aggressive way to say it. But you want to make sure that you're not afraid to play gritty, as we said earlier on.
Yeah, and Clay opting to take more controlled touches in this game. He's keeping the ball a little bit closer. Doesn't quite work out from there. Great read out of Maple, but he's definitely keeping the ball closer. He's a bit of a mistouch there, but he's going to get it around. Can't get it around Pauly, though. Pauly, a great shot. Apt on his back foot. Can't get the double jump or the back flip to get around to this ball. And Pauly's going to get this game broken open 1-0 with 3:20 left on the clock. Again, good effort out of Apt there, but a better shot out of Pauly. Great read off the wall, able to get back to his own pass, touch the ball one more time, and it's in the net.
Yeah, and just the confidence. A little bit more confidence there. An open net whiff there by Pauly as this ball pops back to the Hive side of the field. Apt Fox now challenging pretty aggressively. Maple Syrup missing the redirect off the touch and Clay sending it back out to the corner. Now Pauly trying to set something up with Maple, but they can't connect, and Clay pinches this one out to the middle of the field, continues challenging, looking now for a bit of a pop, but Maple Syrup all over it, and those pancakes are going to be served with a side of bacon.
Yeah, again, Maple getting these opportunities for the double touches, but twice now couldn't connect with them. Another good opportunity here, but Apt, this ball moving back the other way. Can't quite get underneath of it, so Pauly is going to boom this downfield, buy some time for Maple to gather some boost. It's a little bit of a mistouch by Clay. Apt, can't get behind the ball. He's got a little bit more time to work with, I think, but he panicked. An unfortunate mistouch there by Clay. Pauly, a great effort on that back flip. Good for him being in the great positioning, reading the touch off the back wall, able to get some sort of pressure on the ball to get it back towards the net, and fortunately for him, it's going to be a mistouch by Apt and another own goal in the series for him.
Yeah, and that's really a tough play to get caught in the middle of, right? You really kind of have more time than you give yourself credit for, but you don't want to leave it open for the other team either. So just not quite the touch that you want in that situation. But this game is still within reach now, as Pauly shooting this one down towards the Jets side of the field. A beautiful save by Clay there on the back foot. Now this one centered, and from the post, from the crossbar down, Maple Syrup dunking this one, and he says, you know what, I'll take some sausage this time. Straight down, splash. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hive looking dominant right now. 6 shots, 3 goals, 50% shooting percentage, and the Jets really just need to put something on the board with 1:40 left to go.
There's going to be a shot by Clay. It's going to be a pinch back the other way. Apt going to have to do everything he can to get this ball moving down the field. It's a good effort there, but Pauly with a great read. The pass out to Apt. Going to take a shot, but it's not going to be enough. The Jets really have to start doing something other than taking these weaker shots at net. They got to get some steam behind the ball. Just booming it away is not going to work. The Hive with too much control so far in this game. They're able to read the ball off the wall. They're able to get the soft touches they need off the wall, and it's really doing them favors. And the Jets are just kind of booming it down to let them do that. Apt can't quite get the touch there. It's a good 50-50, but again, no Jet player there to receive it.
Now Clay HD coming off the wall, trying to center that ball, but he can't quite set it up there for Apt. And one of the issues as well is not just getting enough power on the ball, but taking the shot from the correct position. Maybe having an extra second or two to hang on to the ball before ripping the shot. And you want to take the shot. You want to make sure that you're sending the ball at the net. But when you're sending it from your own third of the field, from your own half, it's going to be a lot harder to send it with the oomph that you need. Now is Clay trying to get a couple touches to direct this one away from his own net. But there with the double commit, Apt manages to get this one away. Paulie now kicking it back to his corner, trying to get in front of the net. Apt trying to center. And a little bit of a mistouch. Not quite sure if that's what they wanted, but it works out. Gets off the backboard. Centered ball there, and Clay HD is there to send that to the dirt. Paulie trying to take the shot, trying to give one more to that 3-0 win, Flumsky. The Hive now starting to pick up pace. Do you get concerned if you're the Jets? Hey, we're 0-5 on the series. We've only got 6 wins. How do you come out on game 3? Do you think about the series as a whole, or are you just trying to get one win?
I think, I mean, obviously the first step to getting the series win is going to be winning this game 3. And we've seen they could make the defensive saves. They got 7 in that game. But if you're not going to make a breakout play off your save, then it's not really doing anything for you. You got to be able to get that save, have the second man, or get a controlled touch off your save, and be able to start working that ball back down the field. And we're not seeing that of the Jets. If they do get control of it after the save, they just kind of boom it away, or they take an unideal shot. And they're just giving control to the Hive, which is what the Hive want. The Hive are making plays with, they're making solo plays on the ball. They're able to get control off the wall. They're able to take it to the air. We haven't seen too much ground game out of them, but they want the ball in the air. They want to take it high. They know they can get it high. Maple with a couple double touch opportunities. Paulie getting some good passes off the sidewall, a self little touch to himself. And then that passing play to Maple from the sidewall. So a lot of their plays coming from that sidewall. And the first step to that is getting control, which the Jets are just kind of handing to them. So props to the Hive for being able to make those plays happen. But you gotta do something to work away from it. And this is just not the start you need here. Paulie reading the save off of Clay here. Unfortunate face-off for the Jets. Clay does everything he can to get in front of that ball, get it away from Maple, but it just trickles back in front of the net, and the Hive, again, within 10 seconds of the match starting, you're going to take a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, and you take a look at what's going on, take a look at some of the previous performances by these players. Paulie and Maple Syrup playing last game as well, playing last series, and not putting up necessarily the points that you would be expecting, especially coming into this game. But now they look confident. And I think that's one of the biggest differences between this Hive team and between this Jets team, is that every time one of these Hive players, one's Paulie or Maple Syrup, turn on the ball, they're confident. They go for it, right? They may pull off a fake or two, but you know that they're not going to hesitate on this ball. You see a little bit of more hesitation there from the Jets team. And in twos, really, that confidence and that space matters, as Paulie gets a beautiful demo in the middle of the field. Now Maple Syrup centering that ball up for Paulie. Paulie says, no, I'm going to wait. And Apt gets a nice bounce off of the side wall there. Tries to send one home, but is just off the mark. And that's been a little bit to play, too. The Jets are getting some decent shots in, but can't quite get them on net.
Yeah, and they're just a little bit, the Hive just a little bit faster, it seems, to every ball, right? Paulie gets a beat there. Maple not scared to dive. They're already up a goal. And I think you nailed it. The confidence out of the Hive here is, like, Maple able to just take a ball in midfield and just get the chip to themselves and try to make a play happen solo from midfield. We've seen Paulie diving at that ball up in the top corner. Maple ready at the start of the Jets' third. And they're just wildly more confident with the 2-game lead in the series. Is Apt going to be able to get around this one? Not enough boost to do so. Maple Again with a touch off the back wall. Clay's going to have an opportunity here. It's one touch, but it's saved by Paulie. And again, the Jets just getting squeaked out to every ball. They just cannot make the touches they need. And when they can, it's just this. They send it downfield.
Yeah, they're just sending long bombs downfield, just like me, Flumsky, sending long bombs. I think there's probably people in the audience hearing what I have to say about these stats and having no idea what I'm talking about because I'm reading off the standard sheet still. So if you listen to anything that I said probably in the last 10 minutes, records about the Jets and the Hive, and even I was looking at Paulie NG instead of Paulie. That's not confusing as mentioned earlier, but I do have to apologize. But really, I stick by the comment of confidence here. Just supreme confidence from this Hive team. Bumps there from Paulie. Beautiful finish by Maple Syrup, taking a 3-0 lead here in this game. And really, if you're the Jets, man, you gotta just take a moment here to just recover, recenter yourself. There's still plenty of time left to play in this game, but you want to make sure that you're making the most of what's going on there on the field.
Yeah, and again, if we go back to that pregame chat, Paulie did mention that it was supposed to be him and Paulie NG. And you know what? If I'm Paulie, I'm thinking we lucked out because, I mean, you're up 3-0 in this game. You're up 2-0 in the series. Looking all like you're going to kind of walk your way to 3-0 in the series so far, but still plenty of time left on the clock. But the Jets, again, they just got to start getting the ball moving closer to their own car. They're just going to hit the ball. They're panicking. And I know both these players. I know that's not what they want to do. It's not what they need to do, but the Hive just swarming them, if you will. And they're just not able to make a play. Paulie getting behind him on the bump out. Clay a good bump to get after him and a chance to move. But it just seems like every time that the Jets try to make something happen, there's just a Hive player there to meet him. And this is 2v2.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too, is the Jets aren't really able to create any space. When they finally manage to create some space, you know, there's that nervousness kicks in, and then it's a little bit of a mistouch. But Fox here taking control on the right side on this wall, may be able to get something going. Sets it up there to Clay HD. There was a bit of a challenge there from defense from Hive. But Fox now taking this after the boom, after the clear by the Hive, tries to set something up, gets a 50-50 and puts this one in. Now a 3-1 game. You have 40 seconds left. There's a little bit of time, but Fox just saying, you know what? I'm just going to try to shove this down the center of the field and see if I can get something to go my way.
And something to note here, too, Desk, is that 2 of the Jets' few goals this series have come from Fox making a dribble play. Not a boom play, not a send it downfield, as Clay's going to have a great opportunity for a double touch. Both Hive players committing. Another shot. It's not going to be enough to go in. So close. But has been able to cut the Hive up twice on a dribble play. That's not even on top of his car. He's just able to get control of the ball in front of himself. So, I mean, they're going to go into this game 4 with momentum. At this point, it's a little bit too late for them to be able to kind of make a comeback here, especially from their own corner. But they do have the last goal. It was this one almost getting pinched back down the other way. They have the last goal going into game 4. Again, the series before this, we saw a 3-0 out of the Foxes come in early. If you are new to MLE here, we do play all 5 games, regardless of if there's a series win in 3. Our total record does matter. So, again, I'm looking for that opportunity for maybe the Hive slack off a little bit. They kind of relax. I said it last time. You look for them to go, okay, we won the series. Great. You know what I mean? They take a deep breath, and all of a sudden Apt is back doing that bit where he cuts you up on the dribble play, and you're down a couple goals. So I'm looking for that out of the Jets here. If you're going to try and steal 2 here and gain something back, gain a little bit of momentum going into week 6, it starts now, and I think it starts with dribble plays out of the Jets.
Yeah, and definitely if you're at the point where you are as the Jets now, which you're at the bottom of the league in 2s, you got to just try things, right? And like you said, the things that are working so far is when Apt gets to play on the field, gets the ball, gets a dribble or two, and just pulls the ball in. Clay has gotten a save or two. He's had a nice play or two. And there was a couple of times he went up for some aerials, took some shots there, got a double commit off the Hive there near the end, and kind of made the game more interesting. Maybe the Jets need to focus a little bit more on the individual plays. But now we're going into game 4, and we're going to see what these two teams will do next.
And Paulie in game 4 here, switching out of the Octane into the Fennec, so let's see what that does for him. Apt takes it from corner to corner, but Paulie there to receive, and it's a big 50-50 there out of the Hive. Clay with a great dive there, and it's already a different Jets team with Clay diving super fast at a net and trying to make a 50 happen. But now again, the Hive with control, they go for a little bit of a wacky pinch play there. And this is what I'm talking about with the Jets. You gotta notice that they're trying to make something that they've never done in this series. Something that, you know what I mean, they haven't seen work for them, but they're trying to make it happen. They're trying to make a wacky pinch play go. And you gotta go, okay, maybe they're being a little goofy. Maybe they're doing some wacky stuff. And let's try and steal one or two real quick off of them and get a game back here.
Yeah, you want to get a game back here because, like I said before, this week, at this point, you're just trying to figure something out. You're just trying to get a little bit of momentum for your team. Now, Zapfox trying to get this ball down to the Hive center of the field, cleared out by Paulie. Now, play off of the sidewall, trying to center this up to Zapfox, but just off the mark. And now both Jets players are double committed. Maple Syrup taking this one down. An open net, almost the right idea there from the Jets. A good look there in the air, but it's off the mark. And when you're playing twos, that one's going to come back to haunt you.
Yeah, that's tough. The Jets going for the aerial passing play there, and it's just not going to happen. And when you do that in twos, if you're not 100% sure that a passing play is going to meet its mark, or you're going to at least get something on the ball, it's just a super dangerous play if you're not going to be able to make the recovery. And they don't. The Jets walk down the field, they're going to get their 1-0 lead that they've seemed to have in every game so far. And you know what I mean, now they're just back in that confident spot as Maple takes a shot on net. Both Jets players miss, and again, it's just in the back of their net. If you're a Jets player, you see that, you got to send one up for the ball there early to try and meet that ball at the crossbar, because otherwise it's going to start falling down, and you see exactly what happens. It hits the crossbar, it falls down in front of the net. Both Jets players dive. One of them connected, but Paulie's just like, well, I'm just going to watch this happen and make the play off of that, and he does.
Yeah, definitely not going the way that you want it to if you're the Jets right now. Another one sent down by Paulie, and just looks like Clay HD there on the back foot. Just can't quite get a read on it. Just off the mark, and this one goes in. Now you have a 3-0 game. You have a 3 for 4 if you're the Hive. 75% shooting percentage on this game. I believe pretty close to what they've had pretty much the entire night there, as they're just pounding the rock at the net now. 6 shots on the night, 4 goals, as Paulie putting another one away. Beautiful challenge there by Maple Syrup, and a good effort there on the save, but the rebound was left wide open.
Yeah, and that's just it's a tough situation there if you're the Jets. You try and make a save, and oh my goodness, the Hive just relentless 5-0 before the halfway mark. It's an unfortunate kickoff. It gets killed. The cheap perfect out of the Hive, and Paulie with great mechanical ability there. He gets the chip off the kill ball at middle, and then he's able to get back underneath of it, make a super powerful flick there on the net. And I mean, it just beats both Jets players. A big demo out of the Hive. Gonna get a round 1 Maple. Again, just so confident in the ability to touch the ball and like get a good chip over one of the Jets players, and just there's no fear in the Hives right now. Look at them, both Hive players in the Jets corner, and they still come out with control of the ball.
Yeah, and just as we said earlier, just the confidence from this Hive team. But if you're the Jets, at some point you got to just say, hey, we're just playing for fun now. And we're just going to go for the shots that we can get, try to put some points on the board, maybe pad the stats a little bit. Now this ball coming down in front of the net. Maple Syrup ripping a shot, but AppFox is there now. Pauly with an opportunity, a double kill there, 1v1, 1-for-1 there on Maple Syrup and Clay HD, as AppFox now chasing this ball into the corner, getting an opportunity, but can't quite get off the backboard to get the shot. Clay HD, a nice touch, double touch off the wall, but stayed on the ground the entire time, lifted it up over Pauly, and gives the Jets their first goal of the game to make this one 5-1 with 1:49 left to go.
Now the Jets scored their 5. The Hive scored their 5 in just under 2 minutes. So it's not out of the picture here for the Jets, but they have to get moving. They have to start doing it quick. And that was a good opportunity there. But now Maple Syrup gets the ball on net. Clay's gonna be able to get back to this one. Great save. The props in the chat out of Maple. So App's gonna have a good opportunity here. Another Doomsday Dish chance, but Pauly says no thank you. He speeds up from behind App there and just gets that ball cleared out. After good 50-50 attempt, but not enough. Pauly and Clay are going to meet the sidewall. Now here we go again, the Hive from the sidewall. It's where they want to be. Pauly doesn't get the touch, and it still almost results in a goal, but a better save out of App. And here's going to be another one for the Jets. The Hive going a little bit too far out of reach. Clay going to be able to gather this one up at the midfield and walk this one into the net.
Yeah, and just really good play that we're looking at now from the Jets, just kind of playing like they don't really care. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to push to the limit, but they're also going to give every effort to come back. Beautiful save there by Clay HD. Giving a little bit of space to the Hive and letting them challenge and letting them play the ball to them. So the Jets maybe not quite figuring it out completely, but taking a little bit more of an opportunity to study the play here from the Hive and maybe make some adjustments coming into Game 5 with the Hive, as now Clay HD putting one on net yet again. This game may not be over. 3-5, 39 left to go, Flomsky.
Like I said, you catch them sleeping a little bit. They're getting a little bit too comfortable in this game. 40 seconds left. If you can get another kickoff goal here, you're right back in this thing with good time to work on the clock. That's going to be a good start. Clay missed the mid boost, but he didn't quite need it. He got his corner. Going to be a pass towards the midfield. This thing goes booming back the other way. App's going to have to connect, but he can't. Gets the save, but Maple there taking their time. Gets it to the ceiling. The pass is good. Not going to have a flip. App, good save around one. But Clay jumped too. Now Pauly to the back wall. App sends it downfield. Again, these Hive players just extremely good at being where they need to be at all times. A little bit of a mistouch out of Pauly there. Just going to have an opportunity, but it's just wide. App so close to getting another one back. They bring this game back within 2 goals there. They were down 5 early. They almost complete the comeback. A couple goals shy of that, but a good effort there out of the Jets there towards the back minute and a half of that game.
Yeah, you definitely come in. You hit the midway part, the midway point of the game, and you're basically down 5-1. You basically reach deep and say, "Hey, we're just gonna have fun. We're gonna try some different things, see what we can figure it out." And it starts to work out. There are some opportunities where you get the ball pinned in the corner there on the Hive side, and you can pop it around, get them to challenge and bite on some of those fakes and some of those plays off the backboard, and you slot 3 quick goals in. There was an opportunity there, but definitely the best play from the Jets that we've seen so far tonight. Still an opportunity to come up against this Hive team that's really put up a fight and say that, well, hey, we're not going to just be pushed around. We're going to at least take one game home and take pride in the fight that we put up tonight.
Yeah, it's tough to see what the Jets' strategy is going to be coming into this last game, because we've seen them try to send the house and they get left out to dry. They just can't outdo the Hive's defense. We've seen them try to park the bus, stay home, get a bunch of saves, and try and make breakout plays, but one of the Hive's players just always super quick back to the ball. So a little bit of combo of both. The Jets did a lot of the scoring that game without Apt getting his dribble plays. It was Clay on the ball a lot last game. I think 2 out of 3 goals were his. So Clay's got an opportunity to show what he's made of here. A real OG to the league, and I know he's got it in him, so gonna have an opportunity for a pass here. Apt up quick, they're gonna start sending the house, which, again, like you said, you're gonna have fun. Now's the time to do it. You got nothing to lose. Apt can't quite get the shot on net. Clay's a little bit deep, but the ball's not gonna go back towards his net. Now he's gonna have an opportunity here. Sends it to the sidewall. It's a pass to mid. Paulie just stops it right on the post line. But Clay opting to stay a little bit aggressive here.
Yeah, and definitely a little bit more aggressive play from the Jets, kind of like you said, sending the house. Doesn't work out that time. Paulie just driving one home, but that one really can't blame the Jets too much there. A little bit of a ghost touch, it almost looked like there from Clay HD. A little bit of a deep commit. But at this point, if you're the Jets, you might as well send the house, right? Because you got nothing to lose. It's game 5. You just want to take one home. But now a bump there, a bit of a double commit that winded up with both Hive players colliding. Maple Syrup somehow comes out with the ball with an open net, but Clay HD is there. Paulie now keeping this ball in the corner, but Fox is there, playing this ball out the side. Challenge there, good 50 from Maple Syrup now keeps this ball alive with a little bit of a ground pinch and a flick. Very, very gentle. Maple Syrup putting away the second goal of the game for the Hive, and they're just looking dominant right now.
A little bit of style there on the recovery. It's a crazy recovery on the wall. Gets a touch. Gets down to it. Their car's facing backwards. They got the wherewithal to let go of the gas and just hold power slide, jump one more time, and get a little side flick on the ball. So props to Maple with a little bit of a wacky goal there. Going to get another pretty standard goal there. And again, we see the Hive pretty early in the game with a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, just little tiny things. I don't know if you could even see there, but it almost looked like Paulie got a bit of a bump there on Apt, and in kind of the weirdest way, just kind of deflecting the save there. Paulie now putting this ball into the middle of the field, and Maple Syrup, that Paulie Maple Syrup connection cannot be stopped right now. A center, a miss there from Clay HD. Fox can't get there, and now this game is 4-0, looking exactly like last game. Let's see if this one is any different. Let's see if the Jets recover and maybe put a couple of points here on the board as Clay HD taking this one down left side. Playing this ball up.
Makes the Hive make an awkward touch, and now Apt can have an opportunity here. Gets the pass to mid. Clay there to receive. It's going to be a little bit high. Can he get another one? No, he's going to retreat. And I think in this situation, the comm's got to be a little bit better there. You can't be retreating when you get a good ball to the back wall like that. Somebody's got to go. At least get your car in the right place to put pressure on the Hive to say, hey, you know what? We're still here. We got a presence. You know what I mean? You got to make a better save. And then a little bit of miscommunication out of the Jets there. Apt on the ball side rotation. A little bit under the ball. Clay stops, thinking Apt's going to take it up the wall, and then Paulie just full steam ahead, gets it around both of them again, and great accuracy out of him as he's going to put another one in the net, and another 5-0 lead here for the Hive.
Yeah, and at this point too, when you're looking at all these shots, just some of them too, you don't want to chalk it all up to luck, but I mean a lot of 50-50s too. Just the Hive just being there, just even a second earlier than the Jets, and it's making the difference there. A good save there by Clay HD. It almost looked like a ghost touch that was not going to be in his favor, but he manages to get just enough of it. Gets a piece there in front of the net as well. No shot, no save there as Paulie gets a demo. Now Clay just sending this ball down to the left side of the field. Fox trying to control, not trying to send the ball away quite as much. Clay HD still popping this one up and kind of just booming the ball. But there the Hive can't quite get a connection. A bit of a demo there from Clay HD, and you just wonder, are the Jets gonna get a sign of life like we saw earlier in the series there in Game 4? Or is this just going to be a quick and easy go-home game of 5-0 for the Hive?
They're going to have to start getting it going quick here. Apt a good little chip to himself, but again, just great positioning out of the Hive. Clay up early. Doesn't get the power he needs on the ball. Gets a demo, gets a pass to mid. Apt controls the ball. We know what he can do if he does, but Maple reads it this time, says, no, 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 I'm not letting it happen again. A good pass to mid, but nothing to read. Clay's got a lot of speed here, but again, Paulie just great defensive positioning, and the Jets gonna steal one here late in the game, get the lead down to 4. Paulie can't quite get the pass out, loses the ball in the corner. Clay's diving, and App's just gonna be able to bury this one home over both Hive defenders.
Yeah, and I think that play right there, when I look at that play where Clay HD just gets just the slightest touch that he needs, and there, beautiful shot from him trying to come up from the left wall, but a great save from Maple. You come in from that play and you get just the right touch, a bit of a lucky play. If they would have had 1 or 2 of those earlier in the season, in the series, as another beautiful shot there from Paulie, just running a clinic on those type of shots today. If the Jets get a shot or 2 like that earlier on in the series, it's completely different. It's a completely different outcome in the series. But now as we come into these last couple of games, the Hive really running away with this series.
Yeah, and Clay in the right position there, just an unfortunate little backflip, and can't quite make a connection on the ball. So the Jets just not making their own luck. They're kind of making their own bad luck here. Is again just a little bit of miscommunication in midfield. They bail out of one there, but with Maple not able to get the ball in net. Apt in a good position here, gets the chip over one. Clay can't connect. There's just no follow-up touches on these cleared with 10 seconds left on the clock. Apt trying to make something happen, can't quite connect, not enough boost to do so. He gets it up. Gonna have an air carry here. Gets one touch, but again, it's not gonna be enough, and the ball's gonna fall. It was going in the net, but it wasn't enough. The Hive gonna take a 6-1 ruckus victory here in Game 5, and they're gonna run away here with a sweep.
Yeah, they run away with a sweep, and really, you come into basically 2 scenarios, one for the winning team, one for the losing team in this one, right? Especially based off of where they're at in their divisions and where they're at in the playoff race. If you're the Hive, you say, hey, after this week, we have a good opportunity. We have a good chance to make a run at the playoffs. And if you're the Jets, really, you got to take a look at where you're at who you've got with your team, and what steps you're going to be taking next if you're going to really push for 2s. They've been doing okay in 3s, kind of closer to this scenario that the Hive have right now in their 2s game. But you're taking a look at later on in the season, especially with this being match 6. Now you're taking a look at what's going to give us the best opportunity to run at the playoffs. And if you're the Jets, you're mostly just looking at how can we make our team better, maybe possibly even for next season.
Yeah, and I think you nailed it here. The Hive, if I'm the Hive, like, you know what I mean, next week, run it back. I mean, if Paulie and Maple are going to be that dominant in a game like that, where regardless if they're like, if that's the best team in CL, right? If that's the highest ranked team in CL, they're in a barn burner, if not running away with that match. The chemistry between those two was unreal. They were connecting on the plays. They were able to make the solo plays. They were where they needed to be on defense. So, you know what I mean, that Hive roster right there, that Hive lineup was unbelievable. They played out of their minds. Maple able to make the solo plays when they needed to. Paulie just absolutely dominating the game off the walls. So, yeah, I mean, if I'm the Hive, if I'm the Hive captain, GM, whatever, whoever's running their CL team, I just, you know what I mean, if someone's hot, if the goalie's hot, you know, you run it back. Just let them go. Let them run wild until it doesn't work.
I definitely agree with you 100%. Especially too, you've got these 2 players really haven't been utilized all that much throughout the Hive's 2 seasons so far. You've got Maple Syrup with 2 uses. Now that would come to 3 uses with this week. Then you've got Paulie, who's only had 1 use so far this season. So you definitely have the opportunity to put these 2 in. going on in the season. I think that's a great idea. And I think if you're the Jets, you got to figure out again. I strongly believe that Apt was in because I don't know if there was anyone else available to play. I should have the in because I'm with the Jets franchise. But really was kind of surprised to see him. Haven't seen him too much through the two series, and just trying to figure out what they're doing, what they want to do moving forward. Uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the next step is. It's tough when you're at the bottom of the league and you started to see glimmers of hope, especially there in game 4. And then in game 5, the Hive just adjusted so well and just came back and dominated. And this was really just a slugfest for the Hive.
Yeah. I think the move is just to put one foot in front of the other. But the Hive going to take this one 5-0, like we said. Again, you know what I mean? Don't forget to check out Guardian Pro Line, our jersey sponsor here at MLE. They got awesome jerseys. If you like the Hive colors, if you like the Jets colors, if you like the Shadow colors, black and gold, don't forget to check them out. But that's going to do it here tonight for our MLE broadcast. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. We got more matchups than tomorrow, so please join us back then. But again, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you, Des, for joining me on the 2 calls there. And everybody have a great night.
Thank you. Have a good night.